I beat them. It's like
People should care. Well, we finally have a platform that we can get it out to people who do care.
these are gun rights and property rights, and
So this is what you filed in this instance
for one gun part.
for one gun part.
Yeah.
They, in fact, explained they gave you back your assault rifle.
They seized my assault rifle. They had it for like 4 years, and then I got a court order for return of property. And then they're like, well, you got to go through this hoop, and you got to go through this hoop, and file papers with the Department of Justice. And so I did all that, and then I've been rejected by the Department of Justice twice. So I lawyered up and filed like, almost 150 pages of law and exhibits.
Which they called a data dump.
They called it a data dump. They said the judge's ruling was void on its face. Yada, yada, yada. They hide behind one little sentence that they picked out of a law. And then, so in response to that, I served them with close to 150 pages. And then their answer was like, how many pages? That's proof of service. 7 pages. So they answered 150 pages with 7 pages, and then
and summed it up with go jump in the river.
They told me the judge's order was void on its face, and then the DOJ came to court, and then I thought he was there for them, and they called him as a witness, but the judge wouldn't hear it.
But you actually subpoenaed him.
Yeah, I subpoenaed the DOJ.
Okay.
And then so they rejected me twice, but then within a week after serving them this, the DOJ backed down and finally registered my assault rifle receiver as a long rifle, and now I get to put my gun back together again legally.
And so basically you're the only person in California able to own an assault rifle registered as a long rifle?
It's registered as a long rifle.
Nice. Nice.
And then I'm going to have it all put back. They get to pay for all this. I found the exact statute. It's in here somewhere. Oh yeah, it says it's PC 33885, California. This letter A says, in a proceeding for the return of any firearm, ammunition, feeding device, or ammunition seized and not returned pursuant to this chapter, where the defendant or cross-defendant is a law enforcement agency, the court shall award reasonable attorney fees to the prevailing party. This section shall become operative on July 1st, 2020. It's already on the books, though, so...
So it's good to go for it now, and
yeah.
you might have to wait a year, but doesn't it go back a year?
Actually, I don't know how that's going to work out. I never noticed that it wasn't effective. Shall become operative, but
So how long would this hold before you had to file suit?
well, let's see, we're still a year out, but I think given the nature of the law, I have a strong argument in court to return all my attorney fees. I don't see if this has already been approved and it's on the books and will become operative. Well, I file a lawsuit now.
Okay. Well, you've powered us through all of these things that came down on you and the boys and the entire collective, which
Yeah, this
you set the standard here in California through Shasta County to get 17 not guilties, and then another not guilty on supposed manufacturing, which they held out.
No, actually, ethyl alcohol was removed from the volatile substances list. So basically, anybody in California could use alcohol to make
Tinctures.
pico extract or anything like that, and it's not a crime. You can do it in your kitchen.
Well, yeah, that's what we all hope, is that everybody will be able to make their own medicine at home and thereby know what it is.
Yep.
Well, you've led the way. This is a very short interview. I'm going to send this out to Thumper and Pat Howley, and I think probably both of these guys are going to want to follow it.
Actually, this is a big win for anybody in California who has had weapons seized by law enforcement and not returned, because a new law
explain that.
went into effect in 2014 that required long guns to be registered like handguns were prior, but any long rifle bought prior to 2014, the voluntary, it was a voluntary registration process. But then they were sneaky in 2016. They redefined a lot of long rifles in California into what they call assault weapons, and that's where my rifle kind of, it got iffy. And then I'm sure if they're doing it to me, they're doing it to a bunch of other people. So yeah, if anybody gets a hold of my case, a 14F 3059, they can use the same arguments I used for the marijuana, for the manufacturing, for the seizing of property and firearms laws. It's all in there. It's so
awesome.
Yeah, potentially my case could help millions of people.
That's what they've always been afraid of, and they're hoping this will be quiet, but we've never been quiet here in Shasta County. And tomorrow, on the 5th, it goes back to the original trial judge, correct?
July 5th.
And that's Judge Flynn here in Shasta County.
Yep.
And so basically, he's go ahead and tell how he's actually.
So I just did the math on that. That lawsuit. I mean, think about it. My case is going to be heard July 5th, 2019. I have a year to file, so if I hold out for a year and then file, based on the new law, it won't be in front of a judge before August or September of 2020.
In 2020.
And then by that time, this law has already taken effect.
Right.
And then that's I got to wait a year to get paid.
No problem.
Not a big deal.
No problem. But they're basically backed into the corner where they either have to give you your part back or violate your civil rights, and it's well documented.
It's all in here. I mean, there's pages and pages of civil rights and gun laws and DOJ policies and it's all in there. I mean, my original return of property signed by the judge, and then so it's all in here.
Well, you've carried us another step down the way. We want to thank you. All patriots across the nation are going to want to thank you, because you've shown us it can be done. If it can be done in California, it can be done anywhere.
Yeah, I beat California.
You beat California. After the League of Cities, Eric Holder came and just ran a machete up the middle of our state, taking away Californians' rights in a way that, well, it's really shown in our big cities that now have their own poop apps. And cities that used to be wonderful, beautiful cities. But we'll hold the rest of this for another interview. Thank you so much, James. And talk to you soon. Bye-bye.